Welcome back to the Boomerang Podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Drew.
And today we want to talk a little bit about highlighting corruption.
Yes.
Right?
It's Saturday. We originally had the day off and thought, you know what, let's come in, bounce some ideas around, and have a little fun.
Yeah, we just got back from Benton, Arkansas.
Yep.
Well, really Hot Springs.
Hot Springs, yeah.
We did a little boat trip down there. We had some fun.
Yeah, took 50 new friends down there. We got to see Pastor Bob Joyce, his service on a Sunday. And,
Household of Faith. We really appreciate Pastor Bob having us. That was one for the record books.
Yeah, awesome time. Beautiful part of the country. Never really spent any time in Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas is definitely a beautiful place. But
outside of the Bill and Hillary Clinton Airport, naming it that, it was a good experience.
Yeah, flying into the Bill and Hillary Clinton Airport is a little spooky. They celebrate them on the walls. I was like, uh-oh. But we wanted to highlight some corruption because we're seeing in the news, of course, the death of Dianne Feinstein. Dianne Feinstein, she had her limo driver or her driver, was actually a Chinese spy. The driver, I think it was
for 20 years.
For 20 years. Around 20 years. And then we saw in the news Bob Menendez. Bob Menendez got raided.
Gold Bar Bob.
He had cash stuffed in jacket pockets, bags of cash. I think he was illegally selling firearms. These are the people running the country.
Yeah, he's on the Foreign Relations Committee.
Who's paying him?
Yeah. So who's giving him the bribes?
Who's giving him the bribes?
Right. Foreign adversaries, spies.
Yeah, and then you look in the news. You have this guy James Gordon Meek. He's the one who the ABC reporter who discredited Pizzagate. Well, he just was put in prison for what? Child porn.
Yeah, child porn.
Sadistic child porn.
Yeah.
And I hear it's actually much worse than what they found.
I know he's serving at least 6 years.
6 years.
I don't know how you didn't get the full penalty of 20.
Well,
but actually, I do know how. But
the judges are on the dole too.
Sure.
But it starts to what we want people to do is start connecting the dots. Start seeing these are the people running the country.
Right.
These are the people that are when Bill and Hillary Clinton do a speech on Wall Street, they get paid $500,000 for a 10-minute speech. This is just money laundering.
Money laundering. Yeah.
Right?
No different than Hunter Biden's paintings.
Yeah, exactly. Hunter Biden's paintings. Obama got the Penguin book deal or the Netflix deal.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, he got the Netflix deal. He's paid $60 million, right? This is just money laundering out in the open. And these are the people running our financial system, running the country. There was a story earlier this year in February. We're here in Phoenix, Arizona. Our governor, Katie Hobbs, she was taking, or we don't know, we suspect.
She's being accused of working with cartels.
A lady by the name of Jacqueline Breger came forward, and she accused at some town hall meeting, she accused Katie Hobbs of taking bribes directly from the drug cartels. And what do we see Katie Hobbs just do? She stepped down. Very bizarre story.
Very bizarre. because other governors will travel around, and to my knowledge, they don't, give up power for a day while they're traveling, right? Newsom isn't giving up being governor while he's, going to go debate DeSantis and vice versa. It's really interesting that she would give that up, and it went down to our Treasury, Yee, who's actually a Republican, and for a day and a half. But, I don't know the whole reason. I know she was Hobbs was in D.C., but, kind of the story that I heard is one reason that you might want to do that and give up the power for a day or two is if you're going somewhere and you want to get donations and get gifts. And, because if you're governor, you're not allowed to accept those things. Right? Momentarily, you can step down and maybe accept bribes and things of that nature. I don't even know if you'd call it that. But
what I just find interesting about it is the fact that anybody who accuses these people of this stuff, they just label them a conspiracy theorist. It's like, come up with something new.
Yeah.
It's like I'm starting to think that anybody labeled a conspiracy theorist is probably telling the truth.
They're on the right path.
They're on the right path.
Yeah, that's why they're getting called a conspiracy theorist.
So this is the type of corruption that I think we're going to continue to see over these next months. I think the reason why they waited for Biden's impeachment, I think it's really because they're trying to time it for the election season, right? I think we're going to see more and more exposure to these people in the coming weeks and months. We're going to see more and more Democrat and Republican. I think they're all the worst.
Uniparty.
Right? The uniparty. So what I would expect to see is more of the exposure of these people. I think you're going to see more raids on these people's homes. You're going to see more people getting in trouble. And I think what that does is we look at kind of the politics of things and see how that trickles down to the economy and what that means. And I think eventually what you're going to see is you're going to see problems, real blatant problems in the economy. They're going to crash a bank, right? And that's going to suck up the news cycle, right? It just so happened the day that they were launching the news about, who was it? I think it was Biden. That was the same day that Dianne Feinstein died. So now you have, you're going to have another week or two of, poor Dianne, we miss her. Everybody should come together. It's ridiculous.
Good riddance.
Good riddance.
Beat it. So the poor lady, I just feel bad for her for a second because here they are wheeling her in. Her last few days, she should be spending it with her family, comfortable, not getting wheeled in and making a spectacle of, your staff voting for you. You're just
She voted on a bill the day before she died.
Yeah, and she obviously didn't have any clue what she was voting on.
So we saw her in that video where she's sitting in Congress. She didn't know where she was.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
It was sad to see.
The aides are like, you just say yay.
Just say yay. Just say yay. So
Wild.
What we want to bring up is we just want to illustrate and have people remember, Hillary Clinton's server in a Colorado bathroom. You know what that server was about? The Chinese literally had the login and password to that server. It was outside the government, right? And the Chinese could literally log in and take whatever they wanted off that private server. People don't understand this, and I want people to start connecting the dots and remembering these details from 5 and 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And don't forget these things, because this stuff, I think, is coming to a head. I think we are going to see arrests.
Yeah.
I think we are going to see the arrest, because I think what Trump's doing is he's not going directly at the election fraud. I think what he wants to do is he wants to go after the underlying crimes first. Get these people on the criminality first, right? Because you have to wake up to the public. We just had a completely rigged 2020 and 2022 midterm election.
Yeah.
Completely rigged. I mean,
no one knows more than us here in Arizona.
Yeah,
seeing
we
it.
saw it firsthand. I mean, you got your ballot kicked out. You had to go put it in that.
Yeah, I was one of those people that didn't count, and they said, "Well, you can go stand at the end of that long line, right, and do it again, or you could throw it in this box down here, and we promise to count it later."
Box B or whatever it was, right?
Yeah, and all the tabulators that weren't working were heavily Republican, sites.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just
So, and they made people wait hours on end. No one has the
make
time.
them uncomfortable, and people, discourage them from wanting to stand in line and vote. And
Voter suppression. Voter
Exactly.
suppression.
Yep.
So we want to remind the people of this stuff, because I think it's a great time to really consider getting yourself out of harm's way, whether that be gold and silver with people like us, right? I think gold and silver is great because you're not taking part in their system.
Right.
That's really what it is you're out of their system. These people are going to drive this thing into the ground. Okay, why? Because they probably need a distraction when all the criminality starts coming out. We're already
100%.
seeing it with Hunter Biden, right? And I think these paths all lead to Obama.
Yeah. Wait, listen, all these politicians, everybody we're talking about, they use this country like their own personal piggy bank, right? And they're just taking.
Exactly.
And, ultimately, you just have to remember, they don't like us. They hate us. They don't even want us here. That's why they always talk about depopulation.
Exactly.
Outside of buying, ammo, gold, all that good stuff. Buy some land. Go buy some, hens. Get your own eggs. You know.
Be self-sufficient
for sure,
as best you can. Get a
100%.
generator. You recommended a generator to me. I feel
Storable
better.
food.
Storable food. Simple.
Water
Yeah.
filtration.
Yeah.
Simple stuff, because if they, if one side they feels that they're losing control and the tide's turning, they're going to create some kind of flash, attack, whatever, some kind of flashpoint, something that's going to happen where, we have a huge thing where we don't have the 2024 election, right? They're going to shut the power grid off, the internet off, cause, chaos and confusion to stay in power, and I think they'll sink the ship before they ever give up the reins.
Yeah, I mean, we interviewed Dr. Gorka just the other day, and I asked Dr. Gorka point blank, I said, you were right there on the ground floor of the White House. I mean, you saw the corruption in D.C. Can it be fixed? And effectively, he said no. It's almost like you have to restart this thing.
Yeah.
And I think that restart is going to entail the monetary system. I think that they're going to print money.
It has to.
It has to. So what we're saying is we recommend getting out of the system as best you can. I know it's not entirely, right? You might depend on certain aspects of the system, but try to be as least dependent upon the system as you absolutely can. Keep your gold and silver at home. Become your own bank. Become your own bank. Hold on to your own wealth. These banks, your money on your checking and savings account, it's just digits on a screen, and it's controlled by the Eric Swalwells of the world, the Dianne Feinsteins, right? The Barack Obamas. These people hate us.
Yep. And the banks don't have the money.
The banks don't have
They
it.
don't have the money.
Go try taking out $20,000 out of the
Yeah.
bank. See how far you get. They'll tell you to come back next week because they don't have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And I'd like to quote the great George Carlin. It's a club, and you ain't in it.
That's so funny. It's not like we
Finish each other's sentences.
Love that.
That
Our
wraps-
monetary system, it's crumbling, whether people realize it or not. It's coming to an end. They're just milking it for all they can, and trying to pump this money out, going places like Ukraine, paying off student loan debt, which is ridiculous for everybody else, and just finding ways to waste money. So, Bidenomics is not working. Protect yourself. Just be aware that the current status quo is probably going to be changing here pretty rapidly over the next year to 2 years.
Absolutely. Well, that pretty much wraps up our thoughts for today. And we just want to give a shout out to everybody from the trip in Arkansas. We had a blast. We love all you guys. We're staying in touch.
El Capitan.
El Capitan.
110.
Bill, we love you. We love your family. Love who's the pet rat? What was the rat's
Honey.
name? Honey.
Honey.
Give Honey our love. We love you guys, and we'll do it again soon. Take
Cheers.
care. Thanks for watching, and hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.